Hello everybody and Merry Christmas Eve and all of that fantastic shit. I have a battle here today against the guy who is sitting. It is a RU battle in which I bring a UU Pokemon named Nidoqueen, and yeah, stuff happens and things and stuff and things. So I'm going to start up my rocks right away. I know I can take an Earthquake from this thing. I don't know what kind of set he is, but I know no matter what he has, I'm going to be able to take one hit. I'm going to go for the Earth Power because, well, at that point, I saw how much Earthquake did. I had no problems with it. So he's going to Dragon Tail me out into the one guy, and he's not going to want to stay in and take a Leaf Storm, which is actually what I go for. And unfortunately, I missed, which actually would have done a huge chunk, if not potentially have killed the Claydol, depending on his spread or crits or anything like that. So I know that there's nothing he can do to my Dust Noir, so I decided I'm just going to switch out into that. And he actually decided he wanted to go for the spin and get away my rocks, and that's kind of not how things play out. He goes for the Toxic Misses, and I predicted again and go into Nidoqueen, and it's like, yo, you can't actually do anything to me with your Toxic because I'm Poison type. So I'm going to go for the Ice Beam. He's going to Earth Power me. I almost said EP. But he goes for the Earth Power. Doesn't kill because this thing is not offensive at all. If he had any special attack EVs, and if he does, well, he doesn't have enough because I have no special defense investment. This is where we figure out that I'm actually a UU, and I'm just here, just kill me off. And instead he decides to spin away the rocks. And that, more than me sacrificing my Nidoqueen because I felt bad for bringing a UU, really screws me over this game because I kind of needed the rocks. And if he actually had just killed me off, I would have been able to kill that thing, and he would not have been able to set up rocks or get rid of my rocks. And because he has a Moltres, that would really demolish his team. So I'm going to go for the Hidden Power Ice. He brings out his Clefable, and it's not going to take any damage whatsoever because it's a fucking Clefable and it's manly. So I'm going to bring out my Hitmonchan, and I decide, hey, this is the only thing I really have that can touch this thing. I mean, I have Primeape, but he actually goes for the T-Wave, which is a really good thing that I brought this in because I didn't want Primeape to get paralyzed as it is. I mean, it's banded, not scarfed, so it wouldn't be a huge deal if it lost speed, but it's not something I wanted to have happen. So I'm going to bulk up on what I believe to be a switch, and he's going to Earth Power me, but I am heavy special defense investment, so it's not going to do too much, but it does a decent chunk. And then he brings out Medicham, and I predicted a Psychic move, and I was like, I have nothing that's going to want to take a Zen Headbutt. But if I had predicted the high jump kick and gone into Dust Noir, I potentially could have crippled that thing. I assume that it's Scarfed, because, I mean, he only uses it for like 2 turns. Actually, I think that might have even been the only time I've seen it, but regardless, he's going to Wish as I go for the Bulldoze. It's like, okay, he's going to bring in his Steelix, and I'm thinking maybe a Bulldoze will kill because it is super effective, but I don't have any special attack EVs, and he lives with 4 HP. Maybe it's min-max hacks, whatever. He's going to Wish up and now be above half health, which is a little annoying. I gotta leave because there's nothing I can really do. And he's actually going to set up Stealth Rocks now. And I was like, okay, I have nothing that's really weak to Stealth Rocks, so I'm not hugely worried about this. So I'm just going to go for the Bandit EQ with Primeape, and he is bulky. That is Bandit. I know it's not Stab, but I did expect that to do a lot more. So he drags me out into Dust Noir with a Dragon Tail, so I just decided I think I'm going to Will-O-Wisp its thing. Basically cripple everything it can do. It's bulky as crap, but now I'm going to be wearing it down. That's a super effective crunch, and that's how little it does. I might have even gained health with lefties. Yeah, nothing else needs to be said. So he's going to switch out and go into Floret, which is his Sceptile, and I go for Bulldoze. Here I make a bad play. I know I can take anything it has, but instead of going for a Pain Split, I actually just go for a Will-O-Wisp, and yeah, it hits, and yeah, it means I can wear this thing down, but if I went for the Pain Split, I would have had a bunch of health back, and I could have switched out into that one guy, and I would still have health on Dusknoir, which would have been useful for later in the game. But he's going to go for Hidden Power Electric, and it does like 2 damage to Scarf Rotom, and between Life Orb and Burn, he's not going to want to stay in. I'm just going to go for Hidden Power Ice. Aside from his Clefable, it's going to hit everything on his team for a good chunk. I mean, maybe not Zapdos or Moltres here, and this is why Rocks would have been important, because that would have meant he needed to, he would have been like half health. And I'm a little mad that I switched out, because I easily could have done some damage to that thing. It would have been neutral. That thing is not very bulky, because he is running max speed, max special attack. At least that's what I'm assuming. And so I don't think I would have been able to OHKO it with HP Ice, but I certainly could have done a decent chunk where I'm not too worried about him setting up the sub, because I could have switched out the next turn. Now I'm going to switch out into my Omastar, knowing that anything this thing has, I should be able to sponge pretty decently. I do not have any special defense investment, so that Fire Blast does more than I thought it would. And I wasn't expecting the HP Grass. I was like, he's going to go for like maybe an Air Slash or another Fire Blast. I'll live it. I can set up my Shell Smash and just sweep the rest of his team. But he, in fact, has the HP Grass and is able to kill my Omastar no problem. And this Clefable takes the Thunderbolt like it's nothing. I know a T-Bolt's coming, and I cannot afford to have my Scarfer get T-Waved. So I got to go into George of the Jungle and just basically hit anything that I can. And he protects himself. Interesting play. I think he just wanted to see if I was going to go for a close combat. And now he goes for a Wish, and I'm paralyzed. That would have OHKO'd the Clefable. I guarantee it. He switches out into Moltres, and I am pretty sure that I would have been able to kill it as well. I did the calculation. Unless I got min damage, it would have killed that, but I get paralyzed 2 turns in a row. So that is basically going to mean that my Primeape is dead when he could have had 2 kills. And I'm going to have to sweep with a half HP Rotom cut form against a Scarfed... maybe it's not even Scarfed, I'm in Metacham. And I almost kill, but he hits me with Ice Punch, and that will be good game. So good game, TGWIS. Not a really fancy narration, guys, but I mean, it is Christmas Eve. I just wanted to get something up. Hope you guys enjoy your holiday, and I will probably actually upload tomorrow. But as always, rate, comment, sub, and I'll see you next time.